Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This video is about the different glues that we like to use, and I'm comparing them and showing you how they act with fabric and different papers so that you can figure out what works with you best. And just my overall opinions about it. I've been doing junk journals for about 5 years. Actually, today's my 5-year anniversary having my YouTube channel. And so I just wanted to put this out there because I know a lot of people get frustrated with the way things react to the glue, and of course understandable. You don't want to have stains and stuff or warping and stuff happening. Now I also preface this with the fact that I am also a traditional bookbinder, so my experience will be around that as well, and what I've learned to be the best glue when making things. All right, so let's get into it. So I use glue sticks sometimes, very rarely. And the reason I rarely use glue sticks, and they're mostly all the same. I will use the Scotch brand, or I will use the Uhu brand. They are a wet type of adhesive, so especially when it comes to paper, like you can see the paper here, it has warped when it's paper to paper, which is a lot of times people don't want that. Like, that's just a small piece. Of course, if it's bigger, you're going to see the ripples even more. I evenly coated that with the glue stick as well, so it does ripple the paper, which can be very frustrating. Now this is copy paper on copy paper. The other type of glue I use is art glitter glue. This one, I buy the large bottle, and just so you know, when you buy the art glitter glue, this is the big bottle. I got the small one first just so I get it with the fine tip. This and the Bearly glue is pretty much the same formula, and when you do order it, if you live someplace cold like I do, Canada, you can't really get it in the winter because it will freeze on the trucks and it will ruin the glue. So that, as well as the 3-in-1 and even the tacky glue, is not something I recommend you getting over the winter. Check your glue supply in the fall and make sure that you have the glues that you're going to need over the winter, or you can go to Michael's or someplace local rather than ordering it online. Anyway, onwards and upwards. So the art glitter glue, this, you can't really see it, but I did an X and around the corners, and you probably can't see it well there, but I can see it a bit here because it did ripple the paper and that sort of pattern. I can see the X that I made. Same with another one I like to use is Eileen's Tacky Glue. I use this a lot when I'm doing my covers to put my fabrics on. I will spread it out with a brush and everything, a stiff brush, and get it on my covers and use that because it does work well with fabric. But paper to paper, again, you're going to get some rippling because it's a wet glue. One of the ways you won't get rippling is using the double-sided tape on it. The one thing I didn't try with this was the Fabric Tack or the Beacon 3-in-1. It's the same thing. I forgot to try that on this, but it won't really show through, and a lot of people like that, but I personally try not to use this too much just because I don't like the odors and stuff. I can't see how that could be healthy to be, inhaling that stuff, so I use it only when I really need to, for fabric mostly. And when I do use it, I spread it out. Okay, so that's my copy paper on copy paper. Now, people use Mod Podge as well. That's even wetter than a glue stick, so that will definitely make things ripple a lot more. So I would recommend not using that unless you're using a thick board, something like this, for your cover. If you're just using a lot of people will use the thin boards from cereal boxes and stuff like that, it's not a good idea. Thick boards like this is at least 3 millimeters. A lot of stuff you buy that's 2 millimeters, so yeah, so that's a 4 millimeter board, which is this is really good, and you can find it If you get notepads and stuff, I save the notepads and they are nice and thick. And the backing of those, and I will use that to cut and use for my boards, for my journals and stuff. So anyway, so yeah, so if you're going to use board like this, you don't have to worry a lot. It can, if you're soaking it with like a Mod Podge thing, it can end up warping it. You will have to dry it under something very flat. I have a book press. You could also use very heavy books, just any heavy weight that you can find, and just keep it flat while it's drying, and wax paper or parchment paper on both sides while you're doing it. So what glue does is it will expand the fiber. So if you have glue on one side of something and not the other side, that's mostly what causes the warping. Once you put it on this side and there's glue on that side, it will help straighten it. So keep that in mind. But I also always, if I'm using a wet type glue or even the tacky glue, I make sure I put it under a weight and just let 24 hours under that, and it should dry nice and flat. So that's my little spiel on that. So my next one here is, this is a thicker, this would be like the cereal boxes and stuff. So this is how it would, this is the glue stick, and as you can see, it actually did not ripple or anything with the paper on it. The art glitter glue, I can see the X that I made through there with that. This, mind you, this is also white copy paper, so it's going to show up more. Anything printed or colored, it might not show up as much. And this again is the Eileen, so you can, there's a little bit of the X there as well. And then this is the double-sided tape. I do like double-sided tape for some things, but you have to know that it's expensive to use this a lot, but it can be used quite well on some things. And if there's pull against it though, like say if it's a pocket and there's weight being pulled on it, then the double-sided tape is going to have difficulty sticking as well as you'd like. It can work very well in some instances, but in others not so great. So this is a glue stick here on, this is a thicker 2mm board that I have used in the past. And glue stick, as you can see, it's, because it's got some moisture, it's got a board, it's, you know, it's fine. You know, all of them. Actually, you can't tell the difference between any of them. So this is cardstock on book board, the 2mm version, and there's no problem at all on that. So here is copy paper on cardstock, just to see what it's like. The glue stick, as you can see, it's not bad at all. The art glitter, I can see a little bit of the X through it because this copy paper is thin. And same with the Eileen's, I can see the bit of the ripple in there. And again, the double-sided tape, there's nothing. So that works really well. And so that's that, and that. And then the final thing is this other thick board that I like using for my covers. Glue stick actually worked pretty good with fabric. So this is with the fabric. It worked pretty good. The Eileen's tacky worked good as well. That's what I generally use. This one did get a little bit of a bleed through in it because I guess I just had a little bit of lump. I didn't spread it out extremely well. This is the Beacon Spread Out. It can work quite well. When I've spread it out, I've used my finger under the fabric. But if you do not spread it out, you can get bleed throughs from like the glob. So you really do have to spread it out. This is the art glitter glue with the fabric. As you can see, it bled through a lot. It doesn't look great. And this is the double-sided tape. Now the double-sided tape can work nice if you think you're going to have to reposition the fabric. You can take it off and put it back on again. Some people do that, and it can work pretty well that way. So that's my talk on those glues. Also, as a note, I use the glossy accents for metal stuff to glue it on. It works really, really well. And I also do use a hot glue gun now and then for some things. My cat just came up, so thank God we're almost done. I use the glue gun for heavy things to glue on that I really need to stick. Like, for instance, I might use it underneath a piece of fabric like this, or I'll use the fabric tack for that. Anyway, I hope this helps everyone. If you have any questions at all, please do ask, and I will answer them as best as I can. If I left something out, tell me, or if there's something else you'd like me to talk about in regards to tools or supplies for your journals, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help in any way I can with what I have learned over the last 5 years. Anyway, take care, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.